Why France lost the Battle of Sedan, 1940. On May 13, 1940, a single stretch of river turned into a breaking point. What happened at Sedan looked sudden, almost accidental, yet the damage had been building for years. The collapse came fast, but the reasons ran deep. Sedan was never meant to decide the fate of France. It was a modest town along the Meuse River, known more for its history than for its military importance. French planners viewed it as part of a quiet corner of the front, positioned near the northern end of the Maginot Line, where the strongest defenses gradually gave way to lighter ones. That thinning did not raise concern at the time. It appeared reasonable, even careful. That confidence rested on the land itself. Behind Sedan stretched the Ardennes forest, long regarded as a natural barrier. Dense trees, narrow roads, and uneven ground shaped the belief that large armies could not move through it quickly. Tanks were expected to stall. Supply columns were expected to slow. Any serious advance, French commanders believed, would require time. Time felt available. This belief guided every decision tied to Sedan. Troops were assigned. Bunkers were built. Artillery was positioned, yet the area never received the attention given to stronger sectors farther south. It became a supporting position rather than a decisive one. Guards stood watch, plans were filed, and confidence settled in. Nothing about the posture suggested neglect. It reflected trust in lessons that had worked before. German planners approached Sedan with a very different mindset. They did not see a quiet sector. They saw an opening. A fast crossing of the Meuse at this point would lead directly into open terrain beyond the river. Armored units could fan out, drive west, and split the Allied armies in two. The entire campaign in France hinged on that single movement. Speed governed everything. The crossing had to succeed before French reinforcements arrived in strength. Even a short delay could unravel the plan. That urgency turned an overlooked sector into the most dangerous point on the front. Sedan did not fall because it lacked defenses. It fell because those defenses rested on assumptions that no longer fit the war being fought. The ground was not weak by accident. It was weak because too many believed it did not need to be strong. That reality became clear during the night of May 13. On the German side of the river, the situation remained fragile. Infantry units held shallow bridgeheads under pressure. Engineers worked in darkness as bridges remained incomplete. Not a single German tank had crossed yet. The force that would soon tear through France was still held back by water, night, and uncertainty. French commanders understood that this moment mattered. Discussions took place about a counterattack at first light on May 14th. Such an attack could have struck the bridgeheads before armor arrived, while German infantry remained exposed and the crossings stayed vulnerable. Plans were drafted, messages moved back and forth. Doubt followed, orders slowed. Concerns about coordination and risk pushed the decision back. When movement finally began, the window had closed. German tanks were already crossing the river. A narrow chance to halt the breakthrough became a missed step that could not be recovered. As the hours passed, confusion spread through the French command system. Reports from the front arrived late, contradicted one another, or described events that had not taken place. Some units claimed enemy armor had already broken through. Others reported calm in areas that were under growing pressure. German fighter aircraft controlled the sky, blocking observation and cutting off reliable reconnaissance. French headquarters knew something serious was unfolding, yet the picture remained blurred. Without clear information, decisions lost focus. Orders moved through layers of command never designed for sudden crisis. When clarity arrived, the chance to influence events had already slipped away. After the breakthrough, French forces did not collapse immediately. Armored units launched counterattacks with determination. In several areas, German positions were pushed back. Supply routes came under threat, and brief successes raised hope that the advance might still be slowed. These efforts stood alone. Tanks advanced without enough infantry to secure ground. Artillery failed to keep pace. Air cover remained thin or absent. German aircraft and mobile anti-aircraft guns quickly targeted exposed armor. Each attack drained strength without securing lasting control. Resolve was present, but resolve alone could not reverse the momentum. Air power offered another opportunity, yet it came too late and at too high a price. British and French bombers struck at bridges and crowded columns near the the river. Aircraft flew low and slow under intense fire. Losses mounted quickly. Many crews never returned, and experienced airmen were lost in numbers that could not be replaced. Some bombs fell close to their targets, but the crossings remained open. Allied air strength was spent in fragments, while the enemy concentrated its effort at decisive points. Once Sedan gave way, the pace of events accelerated beyond control. German armored divisions surged west toward the English Channel. Roads filled with columns moving day and night. Allied armies fighting in Belgium suddenly found themselves cut off from the rest of France. What followed felt less like a single battle and more like a collapse unfolding in stages. Sedan did not end the campaign, but it set everything else in motion. From that point forward, the outcome no longer hinged on one decision or one fight. The loss at Sedan was not rooted in fear or lack of skill. It grew from a mismatch between expectation and reality. Defensive thinking faced an enemy built for speed. Fixed plans met a war that refused to pause. Air power spread thin met air power focused with purpose. Caution met urgency. Rigid command systems faced an opponent willing to adjust and press forward. German forces tied land and air into one effort. French forces treated them as separate challenges, each waiting on the other. Sedan stands as a reminder that wars often turn before the shooting begins. Long-held assumptions harden into habits, and habits can blind even experienced armies. French soldiers fought with resolve and discipline, yet they carried answers shaped by the past into a conflict that demanded new ones. Modern war moved faster than tradition allowed, and delay carried a heavy cost. The Battle of Sedan was not truly lost on the riverbank or in the forest. It was lost in expectations formed years earlier. When speed, coordination, and air power met hesitation, history shifted in days. If this breakdown helped clarify that moment, consider subscribing for more deep dives and share your view. Which decision do you believe sealed France's fate in 1940?